Hello, welcome back to Jukebox. We missed you last week. We hope you had a glorious off week like we did. We actually played sand volleyball and lost. Ain't that right?
You know, we tried.
We tried, but what's more important is that we're back this week, and Joe and I are opening it up with Song of the Week. What should we discuss first?
Let's start off with yours.
Okay. So this week I picked the song. It's called Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me by U2. And the fun thing about this song, in my opinion, is that it is from the Batman Forever soundtrack, and I believe that's circa 1998. Val Kilmer played Batman in this movie, and personally I think this is one of the best Batman movies because it is so comedic. But I want to know what you thought about the song, Joe.
Okay, so I'm gonna start this off. I haven't seen this Batman movie. Not a big movie guy.
That. It's so good. It's funny. It has Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey?
What's the guy's name who plays Harvey Dent / Two-Face?
I don't know.
The guy from No Country for Old Men. Whatever. Irrelevant.
Beats me. I'm gonna start off with U2. U2 is not a band that I'm really into, but they're a band that I'm kind of familiar with. They were my mom's favorite band growing up, and so I always heard about them, but I never really listened to them or went out of my way to go hear a song from them, just besides what they already had and what was huge.
Mm-hmm.
There was that one push, I think Apple Music kind of pushed their music everywhere.
Everybody knows them because of this, and I wish that was the case.
And then just in terms of the genre alt-rock, I again am really familiar with alt-rock. My dad is the biggest alt-rock person, so Muse and Florence and the Machines and just all of that type of music is something that I grew up with, and it was really personal to me, and it was something that I was in a car going to school as a 12-year-old, and I was like, wow, this sounds really cool.
Yeah,
but
sick.
I never really went out of my way, and when I got into it, when I got into streaming.
Yeah. Well, in particular, I want to know. I mean, I know this is a movie soundtrack song, and there's some elements to this song, at the very end, there's this strings breakdown, and I think it really adds to the villainous vibe of this song. Do you think this is more Batman theme song or more Joker theme song? I know you haven't seen the movie, but if you had to guess.
I want to say Batman, to be honest.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It has some glitz and glam.
This is a little note that I had, but I got a big Michael Bay action movie kind of vibe from it.
Yeah.
I feel I would see it in a Transformers trailer, or again, it's Batman, so it fits just as well. But I feel this is a song that I would see on a directed by Michael Bay trailer.
Honestly, I don't remember who. Oh, Tim Burton actually directed this movie. But I love U2, we all know that. And I thought this was a fun song, not something I normally recommend, but I watched the movie last week and it's been in my rotation, so I thought I would share, because I thought you could handle it, Joe. I wouldn't bestow this upon anybody.
No, I need to give that movie a watch.
It's pretty fire, it's pretty fire. All right, let's talk about your song.
I'm gonna move on to my song. It's Now I Know You by Bennett Coast. I've been really focused on quote unquote diversifying my music tastes, and when people ask me what I listen to now, I kind of just say I listen to new music, because consistently everything that I listen to is either 2 years old or younger in terms of when they've come out, and I don't know why I like it, but all of these new music, I just like being caught up with everything, and Bennett Coast is just my favorite indie artist. I'm gonna start off with a couple notes. I'm interested in new music. He has a YouTube where he posts a bunch of mini docs.
I saw this on my YouTube and I saved it to my watch later, and I had no idea that they made music.
He has this one video called This Is How I See the World, and it's so interesting to me because it's just pretty much his life. He just carries a camera around and presses record every once in a while. But it feels really authentic, and it's kind of engaging because, I mean, his life is interesting. He's an artist. And you see studio sessions, he'll be out on the beach somewhere, there's just a lot of diversity. It's pretty long and it's still like engaging, and his music is in all of it.
That's very fitting for you because you make videos and such. You're a videographer,
right,
in your own right. I just have to say, I love this song. This is one of the first songs from Song of the Week that I've saved to my personal playlist. So good job, Joe. And it looks like we're moving on to the next segment. Thank you guys for listening.
If there's one thing Brittany Broski and I have in common, is that we both love Harry Styles. She has a Treat People with Kindness tattoo, she has been to his concerts, and she's met the man. And I have this shirt. Hi Jukebox, it's Sydney. Welcome to Hey Wake Up Babes. Brittany Broski just released a cover of a Harry Styles song, so let's talk about it. If you don't know a little bit about the history, Brittany Broski is obsessed with Harry Styles, and rightfully so. I am too. And she's been a big fan of his for several years now. And like I said, she's met him. So this is kind of like a big thing, like someone she holds so highly, she's covering the song. On March 19th, she released a preview for it, and everyone was like, what is happening, what's happening? Because it's such a different vibe than the original music video. If you haven't seen the original music video, I can tell you a little bit about it. It's kind of silly. It's not super serious. There's some, theories on what it might be about. But the basic premise is that Harry, in the video, he finds this fish, and the fish just keeps growing. And yeah, so if you don't know the song is Adore You. So Harry's just talking about adoring this fish, man. But in Britney's cover, she does such an amazing job at putting her own spin on it. If you had listened to the two songs back to back, I think you would have barely recognized that they were the same song. It's such a different vibe. Harry's, the original, is a lot more poppy and upbeat and happier, if you will. And then Britney's, hers is Renaissance, and we see that in the kind of design. There's like skulls in the background and arrows through hearts. It's very Shakespearean. And she's wearing this like long blue kind of gown that's gathered at her waist, and it's amazing, and she looks like a Greek statue. And there's just so much creative energy. You could tell that went into it. And she completely changed the song. It sounds a lot darker. It sounds like it would be in kind of like a dark romance. Like this song is playing in the back of your head when you're reading, one of the fantasy books. That's what's playing. And I think she did a really great job at kind of encapsulating what she thought of the song. There's a lot of creatives under it. If you go to her Instagram post, there are so many people that she credited, whether it's costumes or set or production or composing. So go give it a listen if you haven't, because it's very, very, very good. And I don't say that a lot about covers because sometimes they're not that great. But this one, definitely give it a listen. See you next time. Hey Jukebox, I'm Sydney.
And I'm Annabelle.
Today we're going to be talking about some underrated One Direction songs. And I know a lot of people probably don't think that underrated and One Direction go in the same sentence.
No.
But we're going to argue today that they do. So, did you have like a big One Direction phase?
I did 2020 when there was rumors that this anniversary was like, they're going to have a comeback. And I was like, okay, let me get into the music in case they have a comeback. Did they? No, they did not have a comeback.
Yeah.
But I still loved it. I listened to all of their albums in preparation for a day that never happened.
That's so funny because my One Direction phase was also 2020. Just because I was so bored and I was like looking through incorrect quotes or something, and I saw like a bunch of ship names, and I'm like, what are these? And I looked them up, and that's how I got into One Direction.
Okay, maybe we should admit that one.
I'm not gonna say which ones, but that's how. So what were some of your songs?
Okay, so I picked Fireproof from 4. That's like one of my favorite albums. And then I also picked Little White Lies from Midnight Memories. Those two albums, they have my heart.
Yeah.
They're both written by Louis Tomlinson. I always loved that he was the like main writer. And also for Fireproof, Niall Horan. He opens that song and he's the love of my life.
Yeah. No, it was really great. I love that you mentioned Fireproof because I watched like a lot of
like the compilations like in 2020 of just like
Yeah.
the random like One Direction moments or whatever, and like an instrumental version of Fireproof was playing over almost every single one of them.
It's
And
so touching. It's a
yeah.
great love song.
Yeah.
Baby, we're fireproof.
Yeah.
And I think I keep that close to my heart.
Of course, always.
So what did you pick?
Okay, so my first one is Moments. It's from the Up All Night album, so their first album. And I really think that their voices sound like really mature in this. And I think the song is really well produced. It's very much like a sing-along in a car song.
Yeah.
You know, easy to just like chill out with your friends. And it's kind of a similar vibe to like Story of My Life and like Right Now. So kind of like a little bit nostalgic, but you know, still sing along, and you're not gonna be crying listening to this song. My next was AM from Made in the AM.
Oh, heartbreaking.
Yeah, I know, but I had to. This is one of the first songs I heard from them that I like really, really liked. And I just tend to like more acoustic songs from bands that tend to do really produced songs.
Yeah.
So this song just like sounds like a campfire song to me. And I like genuinely think like I have had conversations that sound like this song just like sitting around like with my friends.
Yeah.
And it's very much like college and kind of vibes.
I know they weren't thinking they were gonna end, but to me, like, this song is a goodbye.
Yeah.
Like, that whole album is them saying goodbye, even though they thought, oh, we're gonna come back. No, you didn't.
No.
You didn't think that. But they wrote an album that was like, bye guys.
Yeah.
And it's low-key so touching. For like
Yeah.
it being One Direction, it's low-key touching.
Yeah. It's like a really just sweet farewell, and there's been a lot of bands over the course of like whatever boy bands, and not a lot of them do that, just like recognizing like, okay, this is not going to be, you know, a thing for much longer. I don't know, I think it was just really well put together and definitely puts their emotions into the song accurately, and is something that people can pull for their own experiences. Okay, and then my last song is Truly Madly Deeply from Take Me Home, which is their second album. This one is like very lyric heavy. It's very detailed. It kind of reminds me of like Louis' songs now that he makes like individually, specifically Walls. Something about the music reminds me. Anyways, shout out. I went to his Faith in the Future tour. And yeah, it's a very simple song, and it's not like, you know, not a song you're gonna cry to, but you're like, oh, that's sweet. Yeah.
Yeah. I love, you can tell with a lot of the later albums that Louis Tomlinson wrote all of those songs. Yeah. Like, so many of them are Louis Tomlinson, and you can kind of like see that in his music now. Like, they should have let him wrote more One Direction songs.
His lyricism is really incredible because he goes into so much detail. Like and his kind of picture painting in songs is really impressive to me.
Yeah.
And he kind of hides a lot of things in there that maybe they didn't have in their earlier songs as a band because they were just kind of written for commercial.
Yeah. I think those last two albums, when they like actually let some of the boys write the songs, are like some of their best work. And I feel like no one like really like gets into some of those like older songs.
No, yeah.
And you had some throwbacks of those first two albums. I honestly don't remember some of those songs.
No, I wanted to shout out the kind of calmer songs because everyone's like, okay, What Makes You Beautiful and like, I don't know, Story of My Life, best song ever. Actually, Story of My Life's not a really hype song, but the other two are kind of hype songs. And I wanted to shout out some of the calmer ones because they're really good. Well, those are our songs.
Yeah.
So thank you for watching, and go give them a listen.
Yeah. One Direction for life.
Yeah.
This is one of many choreographed numbers you can see from the cast the next 2 weeks. They've been rehearsing lines, music, staging, and dances since late January, around 24 hours each week to bring the show to life. Pippin tells the story of a recent college grad trying to find his purpose in life. Freshman Jacoby Robinson plays the lead, putting him in a leadership position. He seems to navigate it with ease.
I've just been trying to spread my kindness to literally anyone I can. I know that some of the days can be a little long, so trying to keep everyone's spirits up along that process has been my goal so far.
The director added a modern take that makes the show a bit eerie. Senior Anna Shelton explained that it feels surreal as she enters her last KU show, but is well equipped to give critiques to her friends, being both dance captain and assistant choreographer.
I feel like I have a pretty good balance with that, and I mean, I have a lot of respect for everyone, so they all respect me, so when I give them critiques or corrections, they're all very receptive.
Being dance captain and assistant choreographer means Shelton runs fight call and lift call to make sure all performers feel comfortable with challenging movements before each run of the show. Technical elements including lighting, set design, and live orchestrations are another way KU students are involved with the show. Both Shelton and Robinson tell me they look forward to opening the show tomorrow night here at the Craft and Prayer Theater. They both know to soak up this once-in-a-lifetime experience before that final curtain falls. For KUJH, I'm Jonah Kahn.
Hello, Jukebox. I'm Aiden.
I'm Cooper.
And we're here talking about our favorite super underground, super unknown musical artists. You ready?
Yeah, basically we're just super cool, so we're going to tell you all the stuff you don't know about, so.
Yeah, because we don't like gatekeeping, so we're telling you guys about the bands we like.
We won't be pretentious, so you can go first.
So, my first band that I like is called Die, I think. I don't know how it's pronounced. It's German, so it could be D, stylized like open bracket, D-I-E, exclamation point, close bracket. I don't know. I can't find anything about them, because they basically don't exist. So they're a German metal band, part of the post Neue Deutsche Härte German dance metal movement. Super cool. Their first 3 albums kind of sucked, honestly, and then they got a new lead singer for their album Still, which is one of my favorite albums. I have been listening to it just nonstop. It's no skips. It's incredible. Just funky, techno-ish dance metal music that I just kind of groove to in my car. I love it. I think it's a great album. I think you should all listen to it.
Kind of groovy music for the car is my favorite thing. You know, speeding on the highway.
Well,
I guess let's not get crazy. My turn?
Yeah, what band do you
Okay.
have?
So my favorite underground band that I've been gatekeeping is Vision Video. And they are kind of something that I think is really rare, where it's a new goth band. So much goth music is just super old, and you can't really find stuff that's produced true to the craft anymore without sounding overproduced and just cleaned and vocals smoothed out. But they do such a good job with it, and I don't know what it is. I think it's just that I have a lot of reverb on a lot of the vocals, and it just adds that perfect little sound that I'm this can go on my playlist. I think I found their songs by just scrolling through random playlists on Spotify, and the first one I heard was Inked in Red, I believe, and I think it's such a pretty song. I didn't even know it was from 2020, I think. When I first heard it, I literally thought it was from the 80s, and I was wait, I gotta add more of these songs into my playlist. But yeah, they even look pretty cool in my opinion. So yeah,
Showmanship is important.
For sure.
I'll have to check them out.
Yep.
All right, my second band is called Human Cube, and I'll be honest, I couldn't find any information about them. I think they're Korean, just through their lyrics, but they also sing in English a lot, so I can't really tell. But they're just this light rock band from somewhere in Asia, and I found them off of a collab with another artist I like, actually the same artist I just talked about, and yeah, they just have a nice super chill pop rock type of style. The main album I've listened to, Over the Dark Side, it's just nice chill vibes in my opinion. I haven't quite gone down the rabbit hole, but I bring them up because I found them out of nowhere, and they have 9 listeners on Spotify.
9? That's crazy.
Well, they had 9 this morning, and then I told my friend Eli about them, and now they have 10. And
double digit.
And they better have more, because y'all better go listen to them. They're super cool. And get them some publicity, because I can't find them on social media or anything. So I need them to see that we like their music, so they make more music. Please.
That's so underground. I mean, Vision Video, I'm pretty sure I had 49,000 listeners. 9 is
I have no idea how I found them, just by luck, I guess. I don't know.
Spotify favored you that day, I guess.
Honestly. All right, and my final band it's like sort of a local band. It's called The Many Colored Death. They're like a alt rock-ish band from Columbia, Missouri. I know we don't like Columbia, but I saw them at a local music festival called Radfest for another one of my favorite bands, Radkey. It's a little more well known around here because they perform here a lot. But yeah, they're kind of just like chill, like punkish rock. They were very insistent they're not a punk band, but they kind of sound like a punk band if I'm being honest.
Like if it walks like a punk band, talks like a punk band.
Exactly. But yeah, they're kind of just like, I mean, just a fun rock band. Seeing them live was awesome. They just kind of go ham on all their instruments. They were really fun to watch. They got a bunch of songs that I've just been listening to over and over. One called Rats is really good. One called The Sieve. One called Signed Jersey, which is like their most punk songs about aliens or something like that.
Oh, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, you should definitely go check them out. They're only at like something 100 monthly listeners. Please go listen to them. I know we don't like Columbia, but
give them a chance. You think?
For the culture, you gotta
For
give
the
them a chance. All right, and that, unfortunately, is all we have for you.
Thank you, guys.
Hi, I'm Hayden Houts, and today we're out here on lovely and sunny Wesco Beach asking people what songs they find the most overrated and overplayed. All right, I'm out here with
Brian Swiler.
Okay, Brian, what song do you think is the most overrated and overhyped?
100% Watermelon Sugar High, Harry Styles.
Watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high.
I mean, I understand, like, the music's got a good vibe, right? It's kind of fun to listen to, but when you say the same thing over and over again to the exact same notes, man, just get sick of it.
I'm out here with
Live.
What song do you think is the most overrated or overplayed?
What's that like dance monkey song? Do you know what I'm talking
Dance
about?
Monkey?
Dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh, oh.
Yeah.
Yes, Dance Monkey is so overplayed. Every time I hear it, it like actually gives me rage in my body. It gives me anxiety. I don't know why, and it's always I can't swear. It's always playing. It is literally always playing, and it bothers me to literally know it.
All right, I'm out here with
Drake.
Okay, Drake. What song do you think is the most overrated or overplayed right now?
I'll say Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
I'm sorry, that's too funny. Yeah. That's a pretty fitting opinion. Can you explain a little bit about why that is?
I'm just kind of sick of hearing it. You know, at first I liked it, but it just got overplayed for sure.
Okay, that's pretty fair. All right, well, thank you, Drake.
Yep.
National champions deserve a clean campus. Don't wait for other Jayhawks to pick up your mess. Keep the University of Kansas clean.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Jukebox News Flash, where we will be recounting the top music news stories from the past week. I'm Virginia.
And I'm Peyton. Coachella is underway with Weekend 1 beginning last Friday, April 11th. Highly anticipated artists like Charli XCX, Lady Gaga, Benson Boone, and Post Malone took the stage. But surprise guests like Bernie Sanders, who introduced Claro with a charged political battle cry, stole the show. Along with Bernie's appearance, other stars like Queen, Brian May, Billie Eilish, Lorde also attended and delighted fans by performing alongside the headliners.
Mark Hoppus, leading man and original founder of 2000s punk band Blink-182, released his tell-all memoir last Tuesday, April 8th. The book recaps the 3-decade-long history of the band, marked by infamously public highs and lows. Hoppus gives a glimpse into Blink's co-headlining tour with Green Day, a near-death plane crash, as well as secret band hiatuses and partial reunions.
Morgan Wallen has announced the track list for his new album, I'm the Problem. Right. Along with dates for his upcoming 2025 North American tour, the country singer-songwriter unveiled the lineup on Wednesday, including its feature from pop star Tate McRae, his first duet with a woman, crazy, on What I Want, and previous collaborators like Post Malone on I Ain't Coming Back. Don't.
Yeah. Lil Wayne's The Carter 6, the next album in his canonical series, will be released on June 6th. Wayne says the focus of his latest project was collaboration. If there's one thing about this album that's different, it's me approaching it differently, Wayne told the Rolling Stone. The album is set to feature Miley Cyrus, Bono, Andrea Bocelli, and more.
Former One Republic member Tim Myers is running for Congress. The musician launched his campaign to challenge GOP House of Representatives incumbent Ken Calvert in the District of Riverside County, which includes Los Angeles suburbs and Palm Springs. He spent 5 years in the early 2000s playing bass in One Republic before launching his solo career with Revolution, a politically driven EP packed with anti-war songs. Meyer notes, flipping the seat could be the key to taking back the House and ending Trump's unchecked executive power, according to his official campaign website.
And finally, here are some new music releases dropping tomorrow, Friday, April 18th. Addison Rae's latest single, Headphones On, Pocket Pocket by Betty Reyes, Blind Spot by Bruce Springsteen, Before You I Just Forget by Fontaine's DC, Forever by Dom Dalla and Kid Cudi, You and Me Time by James Bay featuring Sheryl Crow.
That's all for Jukebox this week. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you again next Thursday. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at JayhawkJukebox and catch these clips on our YouTube channel, also called Jayhawk Jukebox.
Have a great weekend, Jayhawks.